Hey, what up, y'all? What's happening, Mac heads and maniacs and my breadwinners? Breadwinners, check your stream. I gave out some pics a few minutes ago. Shout out to Skunk Dog for being present. Um, but I just really wanted to cheer the Goob up. Hopefully the Goob is all right. I spoke to Goob a few days ago. Goob been in the hospital like 7 to 8 days. He's been coughing up blood, throwing up blood. Sounds cancerous, but they hadn't found no cancer. So last time I talked to him, they're supposed to put him to sleep and put these uh, telescopes or whatever, these cameras inside of him and see if they can find out what the problem was. So I want to send out get well wishes to the Goob, prayer warriors. Send a prayer out for the Goob. Goob's been a good guy, man, and he's not doing very well right now. At least last time I talked to him, I haven't been able to get in touch with him in 2 days. So hopefully he recovered. Hopefully all is well. But hopefully when he see this, he'll cheer up a little bit. He did tell me he had been watching YouTube videos. So hopefully he'll be able to watch this one, enjoy it, and feel a little bit better about himself. And man, you just never know, man. We getting up there in age and things start to happen to us. It's just like getting a car. Get you a brand new car, man. Eventually that car is gonna start having problems. You're gonna need the normal maintenance, oil change, fuel filters, air filters, lube, all that type of stuff. But then as you get older, you have to start replacing things sometime, man. And some things just don't work the same no more. But one thing about it, man, Goob. I don't know if Goob want to talk to you or not, but hopefully he'll be back on soon, and hopefully he has some good shows and continue forward, man. But as far as me, I've been thinking about doing a Big Rick story. I actually told the story on here before, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't catch it. And it appears more people watch the stories than watch the live stream. So been thinking about doing a Big Rick story real soon for y'all. As soon as I get a minute, I want to go out in the field and do it on a basketball court, like I did the baseball court for Mumpy. The Monster, shout out to the homie Mump. Mump said a few people got at him and was like, Kev Mac is going in on you, say you can't play baseball and all that. And Mump didn't take it that way, and he wasn't supposed to take it that way. I wasn't saying he can't play baseball. I'm saying he didn't show up that game. And at the end, I said we all have bad days. We have good days. We have bad days. Mump had a bad day on the baseball field that day, and obviously there was things bothering him, and he won't deny it. In fact, he might come on live next time I see him. Not necessarily on a live, but he might talk about that story next time I see him, man. Uh, and give his perspective, which I don't think would be much different. I was just telling the truth from my perspective. And obviously, Monk was a good ball player, but he didn't display power the day that he was supposed to display the power. But he's a good baseball player. I said he had a glove. I said he'd do his thing at shortstop. You know what I'm saying? Take nothing away from the OG homie. The OG homie's a real dude. And when I spoke on power, I threw it in there that I seen him have power in other ways. I wasn't disrespecting the homie. I'm giving the homie his props, nothing but love. He embraced me when I met him, and he's been solid ever since. Real crippin', real homeboy, real friend. One of the rare ones that will be there for you when you need him. Always give you good advice. Down to get dirty. You know what I'm saying? But all respect to the Monster as well as Big Rick. If I do this Big Rick story, it's nothing but love and respect. Just giving you guys a little insight into some of my friendships and some of the things that then transpired when I was around these, I want to say hood legends, but I don't really want to put that label on them. But you know, these guys got big names. Guys been talked about for decades. Guys have been mentioned in Monster Cody videos and book. You know what I'm saying? My eyes ain't doing too well today. But it take 5 minutes a week, check up on your folks and talk. Yeah, Skunk Dog. I mean, you used to check on me, homeboy. I ain't heard from you in a while though. But no, you're absolutely right, man. It don't take much to check on people. There's a handful of people I check on all the time as far as homies, and then there's a few females that I don't see, I don't date, I don't have sex or intercourse with, but I check on them as well. And then of course the family members. There's a lot of family members I check on from time to time, not once a week though, but I check on them. You know what I'm saying? It don't hurt to check on nobody. I always talk about how you feel better when you do things like that, when you do something for somebody, when you tell somebody you love them, when you give somebody props, you call them and check on them, you feel much better afterwards. And what we need to understand as human beings, especially us that come from this lifestyle, right, is it's not about the other person. It's about you. Like, you don't have to worry about how that other person feel about you calling them. You don't have to worry about how that person feel that you reach out to them. It's how you feel. You're the one that want to feel good afterwards. You're the one that want to be satisfied knowing your loved ones are okay. You want to have that satisfaction that when something tragic do happen, that you reached out to them, you spoke to them, you got the latest on them to see how they was doing or wasn't doing or what was going on in their life. So we got to stop always just trying to distance ourselves from good people and not let people know how we really feel about it. Because when they die, I mean, some people quick to cry. Some people quick to act like they really love that person. They was really close to that person, but make no effort to be close to that person while they're alive. Tell the aliens to back up off the Goob. Yeah, but there ain't no time to be joking with the Goob right now. I mean, Goob might like that joke, but I'm not gonna joke about the homie right now, man. The homie didn't sound too good, and the homie did seem like he wanted me to know his condition and that it wasn't looking so promising as far as stopping the blood from coming up out of him. But like I said, they told him at first signs was it was not cancerous, so that's a good thing. I don't know what the final diagnostics was because I haven't been able to get in touch with them. Hey, righteous man, that goes on, man. It happens, man. Triple tut. We don't want to live with regrets. It's painful, and that's what I'm saying, homie. That's what I'm saying, and it's crazy because that saying that they used to say about you're more loved when you're dead, that seems to be a true statement in my experience. When people die, a lot of people act like they love them. They talk about they was a real one. He was a good guy. Oh, I mess with him. Oh, that's my dude. Nah, I didn't ever see y'all together. I didn't ever hear him talk about you. I didn't ever hear you talk good about him in good light until he died. It's like when a person died, they no longer a threat to you, or you no longer have to worry about your inferiorities to that person or something like that, man. It's crazy how that shit happen. And then you get all the people that didn't know your relationship or didn't know y'all or didn't know one or the other, and then they throw salt on you and act like you hated him and all that stuff. You was jealous of a person, stuff like that. So it's real tricky, especially with this internet stuff, man. I'm feeling all right, Jeb. Do I look all right, man? I noticed a lot of people were saying I look good and I look healthy in them old videos. Man, them videos was almost 10 years old, man. Y'all don't understand. Did you see my face? I didn't have no hair on the side of my face, man. I was thin. You know what I'm saying? And I probably just had a little color on me because I was getting out a lot. You know, you had to make swerves to make a little change back then, right? But yeah, man, yeah, I'm feeling all right though, man. You can always tell when I'm feeling all right because I'm gonna tell you when I'm not feeling all right. I'm gonna tell you when I'm feeling all right, or you could just see it on my face. I remember there was a time when you guys used to hit me up like, "Man, you all right? You don't look good. Man, you don't look too happy." Man, I'm good, homie. I'm good right now. But then my back is messed up. My back is messed up. It's like really, really messed up. But it's feeling better today. But I got all this arthritis going on in my head, my neck, and down my back, all the way to my waist. My finger, man, I don't know what happened to my finger. My finger is swole up, man. I got like this huge blister. So when I bend my finger, I got arthritis in this finger, but I got a big blister on my finger. And my disc is slipping. And so, yeah, I've been wearing a back brace for the last few days and putting all this icy hot and these pads on my back. But blessed, man, blessed to still be able to get up and handle my business. I just don't come on here much. You know what I mean? No, I don't have no gout. I don't have gout. I got a bad back, man. I had a back injury. I had an injury I talk about all the time and shattered my spine. So, and ruptured all my discs in my back. So that's all it is. It comes and goes. Old school early morning KMV. Man, that's back when I was in Houston. Y'all remember that? I used to go live all the time back there, right? Oh, I've been a chiropractor so many times, man. There's nothing they could really do for me, man. They make you feel good for a day or two. Acupuncture make you feel good for about a day or two. All that stuff works temporarily. It don't make you feel good. And then it's like you got to keep going back. So now you're talking about spending thousands of dollars a month to feel good. No, man, I'm not Dr. Feel Good. I'm Kev Mac, man. I can't spend all my time sitting there letting somebody crack my bones and massage me and put needles on me and put me in hot water and cold water. No, man. I'ma just do me, man. I'ma go out how I'ma go out. And I'ma stand strong how I stand strong. That's all I could do, man. But Goob, man, get better, homie, and let me know how you doing. If y'all got a line on Goob, man, y'all reach out to Goob, text him, do whatever you got to do. Let him know how you feel about him and see if he's all right. Check on him and all that stuff, man. Just got to keep on keeping on them sport injuries are a bit. Yeah, but it wasn't from sports, though. But, yeah, sports injuries are bad. I'm running across a lot of older dudes with bad knees, bad ankles, bad feet from playing sports, man. And depending what type of sports, quarterbacks and some guys be having fingers that's been dislocated so many times or broken and they crooked and oh yeah, they be having arthritis in them too. I remember when I was young, I used to think arthritis was just an old thing, but then maybe I'm old. So maybe it was time arthritis caught up with me. But no, the arthritis came from when I messed my back up, man. I tore my back up and then I had tore my fingers up the same time I tore my back up, same incident. So that's when I first got arthritis. And it's nasty, man, because it moves around my body. Everywhere from my hip all the way to the top of my head, man. I don't know if you guys knew me back then, but I wore a neck brace back when the homie Roscoe had passed a few years ago. I used to wear a neck brace, man. That was the only thing that would help me when the arthritis got up into my head. Past, first it was my neck, but then it went up into my head. Uh, Good to see you, Kev, getting swole, but leave the antibiotics alone. Man, shit, why you keep doing me like that, man? I don't lift no weights, man, and I don't take no antibiotics, whatever the hell that is. I don't do none of that, man. All I do is drink a whole lot of punch, milk and punch. Some of y'all stomach can't take the milk, and a lot of y'all don't want all that sugar. But me, I'm a different type of guy, man. Go to Germany and get that Kobe Bryant stem cell surgery on your back. First of all, I cannot leave the country. Second of all, I am not trying to get nothing done to this back. That's why young people need to learn. Take care of yourself. What you do when you're young, your body will remind you when you. Absolutely, Ralph. Absolutely. I think in those terms of the females, like, don't mess your legs up. Don't burn your legs on no heater. Do they even have wall heaters anymore? I think that's an old thing. Like, they don't have wall heaters no more. But do you ever see the woman with the burn marks on the back of her leg or on her thigh, or drop the iron on? Be careful. Take care of your legs. Take care of your feet, because they will remind you when you get older and the toes start looking like this. And you don't want to wear shorts because it look like you got tattoos, but they're really scar marks. You got to take care of your body when you're having babies, man. You got to make sure you take care of them stretch marks when you can. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, man, trust me, man. I done had the Asian foot rubs, the elbow rubs, the forearm rubs. Man, I done had all them rubs from the Asians. So don't get it twisted, man. I just look like this, homie. Oh, man, shooting them dice. Man, that's like back catching, man. Yeah, shooting them dice, man, way on your knees, man, for sure. And if you like me or the homie Cal, you're gonna beat your thighs up till they purple and blue, man. Slapping your leg. Oh man, I remember them days, boy. I take my pants off, man. Look like you had dye on your pants and it just stuck to your leg. That shit don't wash off, man. Them bruises, man, from slapping your leg all day. Burning the back of their neck from that hot comb. How about burning their forehead? Or how about nowadays a woman get their eyebrows burned? Eye be all swollen, look like you done slapped her or somebody gave her a monkey bite on her eyebrow or something. New Orleans in the house. What up, New Orleans? Yeah, man, if you've been waiting on Goob and you've been wondering where the Goob has been, now you know. And he still hasn't got back at me. So hopefully Goob is healing. Hopefully he's in recovery. Hopefully they found out how to stop him from throwing up blood, stop the bleeding, and it'd be all right. So you got to really be concerned because Goob smokes cigarettes and Goob drinks. So you gotta hope whatever the issue is, it's not associated to tobacco or alcohol, right? Mike Marks, what up, homeboy? Nay nays and rays. I heard that. How about them Tampa Bay Lightning though? Any Tampa Bay Lightning fans up in the house? Tampa Bay is back in the finals. Wow. Torrey Thompson, what up, homeboy? Those old heaters would melt track pants to your legs. Man, you youngsters don't know about life, man. What have people done with them heaters? Have they sealed them up? Have they they had to, right? They had to seal them old heaters up because you don't see them when you walk in people's house no more, right? Them old school houses. How about that one heater though that was just in the middle of the floor? I used to see in some people's house. The little metal heater, and you walking barefoot and you step on that heater. Oh my goodness. Boy, it look like you have tic tac toe up on the bottom of your feet. I've just been on the boxing. What do you say about the unification between Spence and Crawford? Undisputed is coming. Should be a good fight. That's all I can say, man. Off, low, comfort zone, and high. Ah, no, I don't remember what that thing said. We had the type of heater you needed like a long key, like an iron key. Remember back in the day when you used to turn your sprinkler on, you had that long iron thing and you turn the sprinkler on? That's what we had in our heater. You stick it down in the heater and you turn it on. You turn it however far you want, and that would turn up the heat. And you could see the little flame, you could see the fire in the middle, you could see the flame getting bigger, bluer, orange, red, whatever. Say, Kev, where was Catwalk Crib located in LA? 51st and Western to like 51st and Normandy. Let me see, like 50th, 51st, 52nd. I don't know if it's a 53rd right there. But between 50th and 54th, between Western and Normandy. Kev, you see LeBron say he want to bring, yes, I've seen that. That's a good thing. I'm thinking, though, it probably wouldn't be a brand new team. He'll probably get somebody like Sacramento or somebody like that to come on down to Vegas. I think that's a good thing. And you know he's going to do it. You know he's going to do it. He got the money to do it, and he loves basketball. He probably want his son to play for his team, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right. So what other hot topics are going on nowadays? What's up, Lady P? What hot topics, man? What's going on YouTube and Instagram, man? Stan, what up, Stan? My brother. Stan the man. What's happening with you, homeboy? CWCG. Remember they used to have a G at the end of the CWC. Top of the morning, bro. Top of the morning. Good looking out. Reggie Owens, what up? Reggie, I know you want to come on and say something to the Goob, right? I know Reggie Owens got something good to say for the Goob, man. I done seen you on this show too much. What up, what up? Checking in. You talking about a heat dish? A heat dish? I'm lost, homie. Dodgers getting our bus whooped at the moment. Are they for real? Are you serious? Did you talk about? No, I didn't talk about the interview. I didn't watch the interview. I read the comments, and it seems like everybody loved the interview, and it did good numbers, and a lot of people talking about it. AD is saw. We on the Lakers now. What's up with Goob? Goob was throwing up blood, man, for like 5 days at least, and been in the hospital like 7, 8 days, maybe more, but I believe today might be the eighth day. And they couldn't figure out what it was. They couldn't stop the bleeding. They didn't know what it was. Rest in peace to the homie Whizz, man. Whizz was good dude, man. Met Whizz in Tehachapi, and we stayed cool. We stayed cool from prison to the streets, and he's always cool, man. Me and Wiz got along well. A lot of laughs, a lot of jokes. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Wiz, man. Always could make Wiz smile, man. Wiz was always happy to see me, and I introduced Wiz to a lot of homies, and Yeah, Wiz was a good dude, man. I give a lot of props to Wiz because I told quite a few people this. Skip Townsend and Renato Reeser, which is Wiz, they're two rare individuals because they will try to make peace where there is no peace. They will go out their way to try to calm situations down and squash beefs where a lot of us will be. You beefing? All right, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all handling it how you handle it. Wiz was always willing to step in and squash situations where others wouldn't. So I had a big respect for Wiz in that regard. And again, good dude. He would call me a lot. He would call me a lot, and like for the baseball league, he wanted me to be the official guy to film, but I couldn't do it, Wiz, because I had other things to do, and that wasn't paying, and that's not going to pay my bills. And then he offered to pay for traveling expenses. Wiz called me a lot. He called me and consulted with me on a few things, and he would always keep me updated on some of the talks going on in the baseball league. And so yeah, I'm gonna miss Wiz, man. Reggie, what's up, homeboy? Where your camera at, man? Where
Oh
your
yeah,
mic at?
yeah. No, I'm up here in the office. What's happening, man?
Oh man, Cox Cable calling me right now. So if the stream cut off, man, just know I didn't pay my bill yet. I'm gonna pay it tomorrow.
Man, for sure. Man, hey man, salute to the OG Goob, man. Want to send my well wishes out to him, man. Hope for a speedy recovery. Hope everything is all right with him, man. And man, thanks for updating us on what's going on with him. I've been wondering where the show been.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got a place for Goob in my heart, man. So hopefully he's all right. If he's not all right, hopefully he will be all right. Like you said, quickly, expeditiously, and yeah, man, Goob's all right.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. That health, man, ain't no joke, man. About especially with young folks, man, taking care of yourself. Like I'm older than what people think I am, and I'll be feeling them pains from just they adding up on you for what you do in your youth, your eating habits, all that other stuff. Especially like the playing sports or those who may have went far in sports and being banged up and all that stuff. You got to take care of yourself. And that's what you see like with Floyd. That's why he's able to endure with what he's doing for so long. He took care of himself. A lot of us just be young and thinking we indestructible, and that mess catches up with you, especially in them 30s, man. That's why a lot of athletes are determined to be, kind of up in age or past their primes. Like that's when them aches and pains start to kick in around there.
Yeah, you know what's a trip is when we was young, we played ball on the hard top. Man, that will catch up to you too, man, because that's rough on your knees, man.
Yeah, I used to stay seeing fuck. Well, we used to even play in the middle of the street,
Yeah, absolutely.
playing
And
that
we did
side pop and all that.
Man, we did everything, to be honest. Some people don't believe me, but we did everything on the concrete. We played football on the concrete, baseball, basketball, obviously. Because we didn't have no access to no gym, no wooden floor. And from the looks of it, when you look at some of those ex NBA stars, man, they don't walk too well either. So the hardwood ain't so great for your knees either.
Yeah, no, not at all, man. Especially because them dudes moving around at 200 pounds, bouncing, having to land back on them knees. Like knees ain't able to keep absorbing that stuff, man. Like the body has to be taken care of. Like a lot of these sports, the body ain't meant to. The body wasn't designed for a lot of this stuff. The hits from football, the punches boxers take.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What you
So,
think about these UFC dudes in 10 or 15 years from now?
oh, they're gonna be tore up. That's like you remember what's his name? Tito Ortiz. Tito
Hmm.
Ortiz going in for all the back surgeries, all sorts of aches and pain. The other foul stuff is that these fools don't get that medical aid. And that's the problem with like boxing and the UFC. It's a lot of money going in there, but they don't provide them dudes with any source of medical and stuff. A lot of them have to pay it out their pocket or go without doing it. Then they be dealing with the brain injuries. You be having them beating on their women and shit like that.
Is that true or is that just an excuse, man?
No, I think it's true, man, because you deal with even soldiers who deal with that, who come back with that PTSD. They wise wake up these fools choking them, thinking they're enemy and stuff. Or I'm pretty sure a fighter wake up thinking they're an opponent or something. You seen the fool who died recently, right? From Africa?
Nah.
Where that fool, it's that video out there, and what's the name was joking about in the fight that just passed. But the dude he was in a fight over there and he knocked the opponent out the ring, and the ref telling him to back up. And when he returned the action, that fool walked towards the ref and it just started swinging at an invisible, like something that wasn't there. He just swinging, and he ended up dying. Something happened with his brain in the middle of that fight.
Damn. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of them, man, with that traumatic brain injuries and all that stuff. That mess is serious. And
So
even like
that's
2 years ago,
so you think that's why football players always beating up women?
I think some of them just violent, man. Some of the fools just violent, insecure as hell. I think that play a factor. I think a lot of dudes don't know how to deal with women. And a lot of these dudes are suckers. They want to control them. They done got something put on them. They don't know how to handle. I think that's the case. But some of them, I think, really go crazy. Like even with Sayaz, I tripped out when Sayaz did that to himself. I think
Wow.
that crazy.
That caught me by surprise right there. But I absolutely agree with what you just said, man. A lot of dudes don't know how to deal with women, and a lot of them, even some real dudes, some tough, solid dudes, they suckers, man.
Yeah, on the real, man. That's why I was tripping when I heard like the story with like ghosting them doing with what they did. Like I tripped off it. Like I would never thought in a billion years that would have been the case. But a lot of dudes just they don't know how to deal with rejection or a woman leaving them. Like, man, it's too many people out here on this planet to you know lose your life or you succumb to them trying to move on and you taking their life and then taking yours. Like hell to the no. Like that's my thing. I be like, I ain't a chick parent. I ain't bring you here. I ain't your daddy. I ain't none of that. Like you go on, move on with your life. Sometimes you better off being friends than trying to be in a relationship with a person. And I think that's the one thing people don't hold on. Some relationships just ain't meant to be. Sometimes you just best to being friends. You tried it, let it move on.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times, and I speak to this all the time. A lot of times, us men, we have ego problems, and obviously the insecurity is one thing. There's no disputing that. But sometimes our ego, our pride gets involved, and we don't want the homie or our family to know that we let her get away with cheating on us and embarrassing us and stuff like that, especially if it's with a homie. And we just lose it. But see, I come up under a father and a mother who told me what life really is. You know, they didn't sugarcoat it. Like moms used to always say, "What love got to do with it?" And it's her body. She gonna do what she want to do with her body. So my mama laced me on that. Pops, he was a womanizer. He didn't give a damn about a woman. He didn't respect a woman. So he would give me some game to not put your faith in a woman. No matter how much you like her, no matter how fine she is, you can buy her things. You can lay up with her. You could take her to nice dinners. You could travel with her. But nigga, don't think when you gone, when you at work or you hustling, don't think she ain't messing with the mailman or the fireman at the fire station. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they do, man. We human beings. And if you ever look, like I always use this analogy because I raise pigeons. Now, you take a male pigeon and a female pigeon and they start mating, they mates for life. They will mate for 18 years. They will be lovers for 18 years. However, you throw that male in the cage with some female pigeons, he's going to go hit. And the female, you throw her in with some males, she may not bite at first. She's not going to give it up right away. But if she see one she like, she's going to give it up. It's
Showing
the same with dogs. You know what I'm saying? If you got a boy dog and two girls in the backyard, or vice versa, man, they gonna mess around.
yeah,
That's just that's just the reality of it.
yeah, it's the nature of it, man. And a lot of times, man, even with myself, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times we mess off the relationships. We
Oh,
don't
of course.
we don't appreciate the woman, or even with the women do the same thing, and then sometimes communication will break down. Like I'm notorious for that, man. I get in one argument with a chick over something. If it's something stupid, and I'll be like, cool, I'm done. I ain't trying to repatch it. I only want to communicate. Let's move on. You going just over simple stuff like that. And I think that could be an ego thing, or it could be also a thing of not wanting to deal with, we adults and dealing with immature-ish type ish. And I just be like, man, you can move on. But even in the aspects of people cheating or sneaking around, a lot of people gonna sneak and do it. But a lot of times you open the doors to a lot of that stuff. A lot of our relationships get failed because we open the door, we ignore one each other, we find interest in someone else. Man, relationships things is complicated, but you got to be player made. I believe in that. I don't believe in how women try to teach you to bring flowers. I don't buy into none of that. I'll never teach a son that, and I would never teach a daughter to buy into all that gimmicky stuff. Like how you said, how your parents, you just teach a person the reality of things. Like, be real with it.
Hey man, I agree with all that too, man. That's so funny to me. Cause you don't believe it or not, man, you can't take what you said for granted, because there's a lot of dudes that's not hip to the things that you just said. And I'm also guilty of two things that you said you're guilty of. Man, if a girl say, obviously I'm not important to you, or you forgot about me, I'm done. It's
Yeah,
over with. Now I may give you a chance later on. You know, it got to be the right opportunity where I'm not seeing nobody, or I'm bored, or you know what I'm saying. You got to catch me at the right time. You may get another shot. Uh, the other thing is, I've took a lot of relationships for granted as well. You think, oh, okay, she cool, and you're not realizing, no, she's more than cool. She's a real woman that's in your corner, that's there for you. But a lot of times we take them for granted because we looking for something better, and that's a lot of people's problem. We looking for something cuter, something with a better job, more money, more presentable. Her ass ain't round enough. She ain't got no chest, or stuff like that, and we blow it. And you, what a lot of it is, and you mentioned this too, is the immaturity. Men mature later than women. Women already be mature, and we don't really know where we at in life if we haven't already got a career going. If we haven't already set ourselves up a bank account and got a career going, we tend to be real immature.
yeah, no, I do. I believe that 1,000,000,000%. Because also, even like the other thing is, sometimes the money thing can become a insecurity. You feel like you ain't got enough to impress her, and the next person can do more for her, and she may leave. And a lot of times it's women out here who will hold it down and even tripping off what you don't got, what career you ain't in. I don't care. Wealthy women will mess with a woman. No, a wealthy woman will mess with a man with absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
What you bring to her, like,
Mm-hmm.
you can bring happiness. You and store, something else. Like, and a lot of times, even in my young age, I'd be like, man, I ain't ready for her. I ain't working. I ain't doing this and that. I done hit a couple of times. I'm cool with that. But then you realize when that person's gone, like, dang, just even the time, the bond, chilling with her was cool. And then now you see her with somebody else, and they
Yeah.
do it. She a good woman, but sometimes you just gotta congratulate. That's just the way the game go. You let a good one go. I let a lot of them go, who I see who are just tremendous wives, and I know what the other person is enjoying with them.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's funny when you say that? I think of some of the female friends that I'm still cool with, that I have no sexual desire for. I don't try to do nothing with them. They don't try to do nothing with me. These are girls that I had, and I had wrapped around my finger, but didn't really realize it at the time, and took them for granted. And just because she's genuine and because she liked me, we still able to talk. all these years. A lot of them done had 1 or 2 kids since then, but still find a way to call me and talk to me and see how I'm doing, and vice versa. But to take it a step further, the crazy thing, and this is why, see, I had this conversation with a lot of women, and they either think I'm crazy or they think men are just chauvinists. But a lot of women that I done mess with, well, I ain't gonna say a lot, but some women that I done mess with will get in a relationship, a lot of times get married, and they still want to holler at Kev Mac. You know what I'm saying? So why would I trust women when I know there's women getting married? Women, in fact, like you said about the money, in fact, I messed with several women over the years. You got to remember, I'm in my 50s, so I've been around a few blocks. But there's about 5 women that I messed with that had millionaires. And so I was insecure like you. Like, I can't have her. I can't get her. She got a man, a house, a new car, and all this money. But sometimes it ain't the money the woman want. Once they get the money, that's owed to them already. They feel like they taken care of. They dress fresh. They got a car. They got a house. But the man ain't spending no time with them, or the man ain't giving them no respect. And they going to look elsewhere. It happens all the time.
Man, all the time, man. That's like all the I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them athletes, they relationships, the wives walking out on them. Uh, uh, Even Shaq talked about it when he was doing his thing. How his wife moved on. You got the rapper tripping. His girl done screwed the personal trainer. What's his name? Kevin Gates. The list goes on, man. And a lot of times the women feel abandoned. A lot of times the women put themselves in those poor situations, chasing after what a person got in their wallet, and they realize it ain't always what they want, especially if you ain't built the bond with that person. Man, I think relationships have to be formulated off of people really enjoying themselves. I think money becomes too much of a factor that people destroy things with. And money ain't a lot of chicks look for the chicks who are like that, who looks for a person money. The money shouldn't just be all about what he can spend on you, because on the other side of that, you're gonna be lonely as hell. And especially if that person is hunt is always about the money. And I think a lot of times, even on the drive in, I was thinking about this when you're talking about, y'all was talking about earlier about how people only love people when they're dead, or when they dying. People want to come in, he was a good person, this and that. But a lot of times you can't get people to answer a phone or even have an engaging conversation unless the conversation is about money. Me, I don't talk money with people, because money becomes the driver of where you can really tell who's friend or foe. A lot of times you get the most phoniest stuff from people if everything is always about money. Sometimes you leave money off the table. You keep what's in your pocket to yourself, and you have to, if business type stuff comes into play, then that comes into play. But a lot of times people will only respond to people if it's money on the table, and I think that's where people draw this misnomer about money being the root of all evil. No, sometimes people are just flawed with that. The hunt is always about money. Money just ain't always a solution to everything. You even see, like, with in this past time with these young folks chasing after the quick money, the PPP, the EBTs, and the first thing these people do is become entranced with the money. They lose it, and then now you see them out here acting fools to get back with it. Sometimes you gotta learn to put that away. Don't, live like you ain't got it. Just enjoy life. You gotta enjoy life. And I think even in relationships, people have to enjoy life and enjoy one another. But the minute that money thing is all that factors into how you're gonna enjoy somebody, you begin to play yourself. Like, a lot of people play themselves over that money stuff.
Hey man, you absolutely right. As far as that money and the PP loans and all that, man, I said that before this shit happened. It was so obvious to me. All these brothers, and I probably shouldn't say brothers, but people in poor communities. I already said there was going to be so many guns and so many bullets bought with this money. And those that lose the money, this usually happen with rich white people. But as soon as you lose your money, like you said, you don't know how to get it no more because you're not a real hustler. And a lot of the old hustles played out. Hustles always change. They change after a few decades. And so a lot of people don't know how to hustle no more. The easiest thing to do when you got a gun and bullets is to go pull a robbery. And so I knew this was gonna happen. However, I I I, I got to throw this in. I thought there would be more burglaries. I'm not really hearing about the burglaries, but all these robberies. I was just looking at Bay Area news yesterday. I don't know how many people watching here from the Bay, but in the Bay Area, man, some of them store owners said they getting robbed so much that now they just like take the money out the register because their life's not worth it, and the little money they getting out the register ain't worth it. So they just like going and take it. And I'm like, damn, I thought New York would stick up kids and LA did brazen robberies. The Bay so tough, they just giving you the money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want no issue, just take the money. And I'm like, damn, but they finna come down with some new laws to get these type of guys off the streets for a lifetime. And some of the owners, they getting ready to move their stores and their houses up out of Frisco and Oakland and move outside the Bay. I think Sonoma County, I think they said. It's gotten bad, man. But I seen it coming, man. People see this the thing about money. And you looking at a perfect example. It's one thing to have money, it's one thing to get money. The key is, how do you keep the money? How do you flip it? How do you make it make more money? See, that's what a lot of people don't know how to do. They don't have the patience to do it. They don't have a skill to invest or flip. You know, so a lot of dudes is so dope at driving trucks now. At least they knew where the money was and how to go get it, and willing to spend the time driving those trucks, loading and unloading them. But a lot of younger dudes, they don't have that experience, and they live in a faster life than we live. They dying fast, and I'm not talking about from gang violence, but I'm talking about from these brazen robberies and threatening each other on YouTube and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, they crashing out extremely fast, man. And I be even how gutsy a lot of these young dudes are, man. Like you see them on like the YouTube channels I be seeing where they go through people hoods looking for people. They out there lurking, looking to, go on missions on folks. And it's like, man, like y'all think y'all just entertaining other street folks like law enforcement all on here. Then like with the brazen robberies, you even look in Beverly Hills, they hitting the rich folks up tough,
Yeah, yeah,
following them home in Hollywood and all that stuff, robbing them on the spot, broad daylight, running in these stores. Like the sickness for this chase of money is just like it is beyond these young folks, and a lot of times they've been unguided. The house, when you look at the household things, if they take each and every one of these individuals and really break them down, you see they come from destroyed households that don't teach them anything. So they out here in the streets being educated on how to get things. But now what's going to happen is what people cried about when they seen Joe Biden come to the office. And I always tell people, because it's always people who listen to all this old crap that they hear from these, political rivals, and they speak, oh, Biden wrote the crime bill, this and that. If you took it back to the late 80s, early 90s, you would see why the hell these crime bills are written. And what you see right now is going to push for these dudes to get even tougher on crime. These mass shootings going to lead to it. The explosion and gun violence in cities, the homicides, and it's going to push. They drop a bill out there, push it out there. You watch how quick people support it, like they did in what is it, the 90 and 92 or whatever it was. They're going to support that because it's too much going on. Everybody's kind of in this panic of fear. You can barely send your kids to school. You can barely go to a grocery store without worrying about some deranged foods. And the weapons are worse. The access to these weapons is much worse. What people got. You've seen they pull the 31 white cats go up there in Idaho in the back of a U-Haul truck, ready to kick up some dust. So it's like, man, they about to crack down once again because the average person is too blind. Ones who like to engage in criminal stuff, they too blind to see what's out there. The writing on the wall when it's about to come down. Like these
yeah,
fools is gone, man.
yeah, yeah. But another thing that adds to this, obviously, popularity plays its part nowadays. The the looks, wearing the jewelry, because these dudes got, man, they back in the day, man, we had all this money. We didn't have chains this expensive that they wearing nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You had millionaires in every neighborhood from selling dope, and we wasn't wearing no $250,000 necklace like they wearing now, man. That's $250,000. And the big thing that I don't think nobody's talking about is, man, they done raised the rent so high everywhere that you almost, if you don't have a job, you almost do have to go rob somebody, because you probably got a girl and a side piece, and you got that nice car, man. You got to take care of that car note and them girls. You need a place to stay. Because a lot of us, we talk about us getting old, like Goob being sick and other homies my age that been dying of heart attacks and strokes. What about the parents? So these young dudes' parents are dying too. And these dudes got to find a way to fend for themselves now. And unfortunately, I've been here. A lot of brothers been there to where we say, I don't care. You know, we get that I don't care attitude, whether I get life in prison or I get killed. But that's awfully selfish, because you brought kids into this world. You know what I'm saying? Or you got parents that care about you. We get a little selfish sometimes, man, and take life for granted. But you talk to these lifers, you listen to Cutes, you listen to Mumpy, Big Rick, you listen to all these dudes, Sparks and Big H. After you do that life sentence, Big Ron, and just to name a few, they do these life sentences, man, and they have a lot of remorse. They realize they done missed 30, 35 years of their life just for one bad decision. And sometimes you just got to sit back and think first, breathe first, inhale, exhale before you make some of these decisions.
And I think bringing them on, and when they do the lives with you, man, is essential. Like conversations, especially for youth, man, because I think they're even without being conscious of it, I think a lot of those conversations have probably saved some young person's life out there who was probably on the brink of doing something stupid. And I remember even hearing, like, what's his name, Gilly Cousin, who speaks about the time he served, and I would remember him saying something about if he would have took something like 10 seconds to sit back and think about what he was about to do, and then he reacts off an impulse, off of some instinctive stuff that he's been, taught ignorantly, probably came from the community, some older homie who was young and immature in their own mind, that influences this behavior of robbing folks, going out there gunning people down. He reacted off of it. But I think just taking the time to really think, because I even look back on a lot of the murders that happened, even coming up looking as a kid, and I always think back to the person that commits it. Was it even really worth killing this person? Or even orders that are put out for people to be off for something? Was it really worth it? And then the people who sit behind incarcerated have to, they go through life, especially when they're young, they're probably wild, but as they begin to age, they kind of process that and just think about the ignorance. But I think a lot of Cutes, Rockhead, Ron, like everybody you bring on here, I think they have stories that impact the youth. And I think more of those conversations are definitely needed to really engage young people into these conversations and thinking, because the young mind is a crazy mind. A lot of these dudes are because of the situations in their homes, they run off to the streets. A lot of them don't even care about living and stuff. So I think sometimes conversations from people like that draw in those younger people who will probably, absorb that information and think about it, man, because sitting inside of a prison at a young age, for what? There's more to you. And a lot of these dudes just giving up. They think it's no hope out here, and they just giving up. Like, nah, you need to listen to people who've experienced that and been given a second chance at life, who really appreciate living. And I think that's what some of these kids got to do, man.
Yeah, a lot of dudes, a lot of youngsters, they they care about life. They just don't care until after they get life. Then they start seeing that it was all some bullshit. It was other things they could see. Now they get their cell phones and they call into the street. Oh, I wish I was there. Oh man, because they get to see the actual visuals in real time and see the few people that's still alive and still on deck having fun. Oh man, I wish I was there. And so yeah, they care. Just like all these old dudes you just mentioned, they care. They may not have cared back then. They didn't give a damn. In fact, back then, and you heard Ice Cube say this in a song, back then everybody thought the county was a big party. And it was the same in prison. Like I heard Cutes, no, I heard Mumpy, and I heard Mumpy and Rockhead. We was just on the phone together last week. Me, Mumpy, and Rockhead. And Rockhead and Mump was talking about how they didn't want to go home because they knew homies was coming up in there. They was waiting to see who the next homie was coming so they can kick it and catch up on old times in there on the prison yard. So that's crazy. But nowadays, it ain't like that. Nowadays, somebody go to prison, they mad you not in prison. They want y'all all to be in prison or they want to be out there with you. So it's a little different now. Prison's tougher now. Back then, you used to wear your own street clothes. Your people come visit you and bring you food and cake and all kind of things. But a lot of that stuff changed from the escapes from prison, from people taking advantage of the system and they realizing that we are criminals and we need harsher punishment. And so a lot of the rules changed and people ain't happy to be in prison no more.
Yeah, I remember one of the homies ended up going in, man, and he was tripping off the fact of, especially like the younger cats, 18, 19, 20, and how they treated, like, man, it was like a party in there. Like
Yeah,
like how you were saying, they was happy to see what homies came in there. Their conversations is nothing but just gang and hood stuff. And I think he said that one time just changed him from instantly, like, man, this is all these people look forward to. And
yeah,
it was like crazy, like for people to be really that adjusted. I even think my brother the same way. I think my brother institutionalized to where spend a decade in prison, get out, can't readjust to civilian life, still out here doing ignorant stuff, and then commit something to get another decade of his life behind the prison walls. Like it's
yeah,
crazy seeing that from where, even like looking back on from where we come up as kids and seeing us, and then seeing the past that we when some of the friends drift off into kind of a life of crime, and then they get themselves incarcerated, and seeing it and seeing some of them who will go in and out, be like going to jail is nothing to them. It's like, man, that mess is crazy to me. Like knowing people will just adapt themselves to being inside the system like that.
yeah, yeah, real talk. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thanks for coming on, Reggie. Man, I appreciate it. And thanks for those get well wishes to Goob, man. I'll try to come on later on today or tonight or something. But good looking out, brother. Salute, man. You have a good one.
You too, yes sir. Go get well, man.
All right, peace. Mac Kids and Maniacs, that's going to do it for this episode of KM Video Live Streams, man. I was telling the breadwinners this morning that thinking about doing a Big Rick story soon. Um, we'll see. But I'm really thinking about doing a Big Rick story. I've told it on here before, but I'm going to possibly tell it again and, give more detail, more visual. And for those that don't watch the live streams, they'd be able to enjoy the story as well. I mean, you get a Big Rick story, man. That's why we wanted Mump to give us a Big Rick story, right? Because Mump's a good storyteller, and Big Rick is this human being that a lot of people want to know more about because Monster Cody threw him out there as this big OG moneymaker, hustler, thug motherfucker. Remember that? So a lot of people want to know more about Big Rick, and I don't want to give Big Rick's life because that's up to Big Rick. So what I want to do is just tell the story and encounter with Big Rick in prison, right? Plus, y'all like prison stories anyway. And it ends up a fight story. So y'all like fights too, right? So it all makes sense, right? Kev Mac telling a Big Rick story in prison, fight, right? Y'all take it easy, man. Peace.